Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is your girl Yo Yo, and I am back. I am back, y'all. Let me clean my camera off because it's a little fuzzy. Yeah, that's better. That is better. That is better. That is better. Hey y'all, how is everybody doing? I am in my game room tonight, not in the office. I got kicked out. My daughter is doing her virtual learning, so I had to do class in here tonight. Hey, Instagram. Hey, Facebook. I hope all is doing well. I'm a little under the weather, but I am here, and we are going to get started. I want people to join in. We got a lot of ground to cover tonight about this upcoming election. And this is a doozy for everybody, for all states, your rights, your just everything, your rights as people, as human beings, as Americans, Black, white, Native American, Hispanic, Asian, all of us. This is it. Before I start the show, I wanted to say a couple of things, and this is what I wanted to say first before I start my show. I want everybody to understand that the government is to work for us, right? We should tell the government what we want to happen, and they are supposed to make it happen. They are not supposed to tell us how we are supposed to live and what we are supposed to be doing. They are supposed to be creating laws to help the American people, not their pockets, not their religions, not their beliefs, but things that's going to help all Americans. The reason why I say that is, one, not every American is a Christian, right? Not every American believes in the Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior, right? We all have different beliefs. We all have different upbringings. So everything that they are supposed to do is supposed to be beneficial to us, Americans, we the people. Again, white, Black, Hispanic, Asian, Native Americans, all of us. We are supposed to be what we call equal under the law, right? When Jefferson and the peoples did the Constitution, they wanted it equal. That's why they had the equal protection clause put in there. Everything was supposed to be equal, even though they owned slaves, right? It's crazy how they wanted everybody to be equal. But they are supposed to be working for Americans. And that's why I am so an advocate about people going out to vote. Voting is very detrimental to our country, our lives, and what is going to happen, not only to my generation, but my daughter's generation and my youngest daughter's generation. Millennials, Generation Zs, and the generation, is it A after them, I think? All of their generation, what laws are being brought into effect now would affect their generation. So we have to do what is best for them, not just for us, right? All right. That's off my high horse. Now, I am going to get into my Did You Know in Black History. So before I do that, I wanted to make sure that we all understood that elections are coming up, and we have to get ready. 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 And we need to make sure. Sorry, y'all. I was sending something out to I'm sorry, I just completely lost train of thought. Something that they needed from me. Okay, now we're going to get into the Did You Know in Black History. All right. Granville T. Woods, born 23 April 1856. He was known as the Black Edison. He made a key contribution to the development of the telephone, the streetcar, and so much more. Woods held 60 patents in his lifetime, which include the telephone transmitter, the trolley wheel, and the multiplex telegraph. In 1889, Woods filed his first patent for an improved steam boiler furnace, what you heat your house up with, and included his second invention, an improved telephone transmitter. Woods actually had a lawsuit with Thomas Edison in which he won that lawsuit. The patent for his device, which combined the telephone and the telegraph, which was brought by Alexander Graham Bell. So he created it. Alexander Graham Bell bought it. But Wood's greatest invention was what we call the roller coaster today. That is your Did You Know in Black history. Y'all, we have a lot of contributions here in this world, in this society that people just don't know. Anyway, so that is your Did You Know in Black history. Now let's get on to this registrations to vote. Register to vote. Some states, the deadlines have already passed. So we can't go over them because they're past, right? But we're going to do the ones that are coming up. Here we go. Alabama, October 24th. Oregon, October 18th, which is today. As long as your registration form is in by postmark by midnight tonight, you're good to go. California, October 24th. Let's see. That they are gone. Michigan, October 24th. Colorado, October 24th. Connecticut, November 1st. Delaware, November 4th. Hawaii, October 21st. Idaho, October 28th. Iowa, October 24th. Kansas, October 18th, which is today. Maine, October 18th. Maryland, October 18th. Massachusetts, October 29th. Minnesota, October 18th, today. Sorry, Nebraska, October 21st. New Hampshire, it varies. They don't really have a date to go off of. New Jersey, October 18th. North Dakota, there's no deadline. Pennsylvania, October 24th. South Dakota, October 24th. Utah, October 28th. Vermont, October 4th. Washington State, October 31st. West Virginia, October 18th, today. Wyoming, October 24th. So those are the dates that you have to be registered to vote. Those are the days you have to be registered to vote. Well, we have some things going on, y'all. We got some things. We got some people. We got some debates going on. And we're going to talk about certain governors, attorney generals in Georgia, Florida, and Texas tonight. These are the people that are running. I only did the governors and the AGs, the attorney generals. I'll get to the state representatives. Probably I'll do it one day this week. And then next week, we'll go over the rest of the states that I have. All right. So everybody knows that in Georgia is Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp. Now, if everyone saw the debate that happened, was it last night? Night for last. Stacey taught him a new one. And yeah, he just didn't know it. So anyway, Stacey's motto is "A Stronger Georgia Begins Now." So she knows she didn't win the governor's race in 2018, but Stacey has helped small businesses get finance they needed for 2020 during the pandemic, paid off medical debt of 68,000 Georgians, helped expand access to COVID-19 tests and vaccines in rural Georgia. Ms. Abrams plans to support Georgians from cradle to career, expand Medicaid, invest in education, provide free technical college, and need-based financial aid. She wants to also address the affordable housing crisis in her state. She also plans on helping small businesses and farmers in the state of Georgia. Now, those are all the things that she has that she wants to go for. Yes, she has a lot of great things. Now, Brian Kemp. So he wants to develop skilled workforce to meet current and future needs across the industry spectrum, expand public and private partnerships, and leverage technology to best utilize limited state resources, crack down on gang activity and human trafficking in the state. But let me tell you what he did do. This is what he want to do coming up. Kemp has closed 214 polling sites in his state, mainly in rural areas where Black and brown people majority live. And so now they have to drive a ways before they can get to a voting site where they can vote. He is for the banned abortion ban. He wants no. If you're pregnant and you have high risk, or you have preeclampsia, or your baby has a defect or something, no, you've been raped. You a young girl that had been raped by her father. You have incest. None of that stuff is a right. This is what he wants. Stacey Abrams, on the other hand, she wants the woman's right to choose her own body autonomy. She has her right, and her doctors have the right to have their own. They should make that choice on their own. That's something else that she has that she wanted. Now, Brian Kemp, he only offers voting, early voting from Monday through Friday, no weekends. People can vote on no weekends, which is crazy because a lot of people work Monday through Friday, and by the time they get to the polls, it's late and they aren't able to stand in line or even vote. So that's something that he has done. Now, the Attorney General candidates of Georgia is Chris Carr, who is the current AG, and Jen Jordan. Now, Chris Carr has been in office for a while, and these are the things that he wants to happen in Georgia. Strengthen multi-judicial investigations and prosecutions. He wants improving intelligence sharing capabilities, increasing training efforts in the police department. He also is decided to work with Georgia Anti-Gang Network to reduce gang violence in Georgia. He also is strictly for the abortion ban. He does not. He's with Kemp on the whole election thing. He doesn't really want us to vote, so they are really doing stricter voting restrictions. Then you have Jen Jordan, who believes in a woman's right to choose. Senator Jen Jordan is a lawyer, a mother of two, who currently represents Fulton and Cobb counties in Georgia. She wants to defend the right of every vote in Georgia, reform the criminal justice system in Georgia, strengthening access to health care for everyone in the state of Georgia, hold insurance companies accountable for increased pharmaceutical things, not being there for their patients, right? Holding the insurance company liable, that even with pre-existing conditions. That was Georgia. Now I'm going to move to Texas. As we all know, the governor of Texas is Greg Abbott. Now, Greg Abbott he wants to fortify our efforts to secure our border. He wants the wall to still be built. He still wants that wall that who gonna pay for it? Texans, of course. He also wants to crack down on human trafficking that's in the state of Texas, because there has been a lot of human trafficking here in the state. He also wants to crack down on drugs coming in across the border. He wants to prevent cities from defunding the police. Nobody, I don't think, ever said wanted to defunding police. He wants to pass laws to protect election integrity, even though Greg Abbott has closed over 400 polling locations in the state of Texas. One, which was on the campus of Texas A&M, where students that are in college are not able to vote. They have to drive 30 minutes to an hour now just to vote, when they had a polling site on campus. And a lot of those students, some have cars, some don't. So now it's trying to get students out to vote. Okay. He's ensuring every unborn child with a heartbeat will be saved from what he called ravaged abortions. Now, with that being said, again, Texas is one of the highest in rapes and incest, the state of Texas. So that is like crazy. He really doesn't want no mother to. The laws here are strict on abortion, meaning they don't care. They don't care about whether your baby doesn't have a brain, missing a limb. As long as it has a heartbeat, it's considered viable. As we all know, that's crazy. Anyway, he also supports a bill that finds Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act unconstitutional, which is no longer having a federal pre-clearance for changing laws. In other words, if they want to change a law saying that African Americans can't vote, but it goes against the federal statute, he wants this bill to be a law where they don't have to worry about the federal oversight, where they can just pass a law themselves, and if they don't want you to vote, you just ain't gonna vote. That's something that he supports. When he was asked on the debate about teachers in the state of Texas, he said that he was going to start paying them more, whereas we have over half of like 6,300 and something teachers now that started off of this year. We are at a shortage of teachers here because of the pay and the safety. Greg Abbott also does not want to up the age in order to buy guns. He wants the state to be free like it is now, with no background checks, no nothing. Texas is number 1 in school shootings. Number 1, y'all, in school shootings. Take that to the bank. Beto O'Rourke. He states that he knows most of the teachers have limited resources and they are getting burnt out. And he plans to, he said teachers are underpaid by about $7,500 compared to those in other states. So he will ensure that teachers get there, because Texas gets a federal stipend, like almost every state, for education or money that they can use for whatever. Beto O'Rourke wants to be able to increase the salary of all teachers, and fully fund public schools, like with computers and things that they need, because public schools are really, really, really struggling in the state, because we are number 49 in education. 49 out of 50 states, y'all. Think about that. Anyway, he will ensure that every eligible voter can vote, meaning he will make sure that there are polling sites for every voter to be able to come out and vote and do what they need to do to secure an election, to make sure the election is right and have a say in their future. And he also wants to do a reform in people leaving jail. Now, this is something that I thought was really good, because I know people that got out of jail, and my brother, and it's hard for them to reintegrate back into society. So he wants to give people that are transitioning back into society tools they need to re-enter back into communities, education, school, job opportunities. That means incentives for employers to hire felons, to help them get on their feet, because 9 times out of 10, if you come back into a society that you are not equipped to handle, you go back to jail because you can't find a job, you can't do anything. He wants to invest in treatment, education, and job training. That's what he wants, so we can live a better crime-free, almost crime-free society in Texas. I know it's not going to be all the way, but this is where we are. Now, the Attorney General of Texas, it's Ken Paxton. Y'all, listen, I was in here, I want to say a week or so ago with my father, and we were in here cracking up because Ken Paxton was being subpoenaed, and he left his home with his wife in tow, driving, so he would not get served a subpoena. Y'all tell me, if the Attorney General can try to outdodge a subpoena to go before people of his peers for fraud and stuff that he's been doing, and he's out here not trying to do that, why would y'all want him to be Attorney General of a state, right? Anyway, again, he wants to secure elections, but he's with Abbott on closing polls in rural areas or Black and brown people areas. Paxton wants mothers to receive harsh punishments for abortions, 15 years or more. If they now, that's crazy to me. That right there is out of control. Because you mean to tell me, if this woman has no other choice, if she was raped, or if a child was raped, you're going to put her in jail for 15 years at 10 years old, at 11 years old? Anyway, that's him. He's a mess. He has succeeded in not going to trial for things. Anyway, his day is coming. I'm just going to say that. But his opponent is Rochelle Garza. Now listen, baby, when I read up on her, everything, chef's kiss to her. She wants to put an end from the AG's office against schools, cities, and counties that are trying to keep our children safe for COVID. So in this state, if schools want to mandate a mask mandate, parents are going crazy and trying to school the school board and all this other stuff, say they have their right, which they do. But we're trying to keep people safe, right? All right. School shooting. She's trying to raise the age limit to 21. She wants to hold parents responsible for children who wind up getting weapons. I'm all for that. Who are underage. She wants to support communities through healthcare emergencies. There's something like we had the COVID pandemic She wants to improve the healthcare system for that. She wants to make sure that they're not getting prosecuted. She wants, but when it comes to voting rights, she wants to replace it with the voting rights unit under a fully funded civil rights division. She wants a civil rights division in her realm. She wants that to make sure that Black, brown, and indigenous people in Texas get their rights for them and to them, so they are able to vote. They are getting proper education. They are getting proper jobs. They are getting proper salaries. She's doing that right there is good. She wants to make sure your voting rights are protected in the courts. It further attempts to make it harder for any Texans, especially the people of color, to cast a ballot. Now, these are Texas governor, attorney generals. We went over Georgia governor candidates and attorney general candidates. Now we have Florida. Oh, DeSantis. DeSantis. Oh, wait, let me go back to Texas real quick. I'm sorry. I meant to say this and I didn't say this. In Texas, the Board of Education here writes textbooks, everything for the country, right? Rochelle Garza once put a stop to taking out pertinent information in textbooks, i.e., what Black people did for history, take out slavery. She doesn't want that taken out. She wants it to be known what Black and brown people were tortured and done in this country and what they contributed to this country along with whites. So I just wanted to make sure that I got that out there, that she was all for that. Now, let me get to DeSantis. Ron DeSantis wants Texas, Lord, Floridians, right? He wants them to have, if you're in, stop, Pooji, rape, incest, whatever. He has a strict law for that. He don't want you to say gay or homosexual. So he's trying to come up with a law to where you can't say that you can get a fine and or jail time. He's turning people against each other, meaning if your neighbor has a homosexual or a transgender child, that the parents get sent in for what do you call it? Child endangerment. Lord, I couldn't think of it. Child endangerment. He also is trying to ban interracial marriages in his state. Don't ask me. That's his thing. Anyway, his opponent is Charlie Crist. I think that's his name. He wants to declare a state of emergency before the next general election to make changes himself. He wants Florida to join about 20 other states in automatically registering people to vote. Anyone who seeks a driver's license or conducts business with the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, they should automatically be able to vote. He wants reproductive rights. He wants to veto that any anti-choice legislative that was passed, that is being passed there. He wants to prohibit state agencies for infringing on Roe v. Wade and contraceptives. He wants to take any locality in Florida. No, I just said that. Make Florida a safe harbor for doctors, patients. Sorry, y'all. Doctors, patients, and those who provide abortion assistance, while ensuring no cooperation with federal agencies and other states seeking to punish their residents for receiving abortion care in Florida. So he wants Florida to be a safe harbor state. He also wants to make sure that everybody has the right to vote. He wants to stop human trafficking. So these are the things that Charlie Crist. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Crist. I think that is how you pronounce his name. Anyway, those are the things that he would like to do as a governor for Florida. I didn't get to the Attorney General of Florida. I couldn't find anything on the person running. But later on, I think it's going to be Friday. I'm gonna come back on and I'm gonna do your Senate races. The one for Florida, Georgia, who else? And South Carolina. I believe those are the ones I have right now. So I just wanted to get on here tonight and make sure everybody knew about the elections coming up. Listen, people, if I don't say anything else, or if y'all don't listen to anything else that I say, believe me when I tell you this election is important. It's more important than that presidential election. Let me tell you. The reason why it's important, because in this election, your rights are going to be at the forefront if the Republican Party takes the Senate back. Contraceptives, abortion bans, and a slew of other things that are coming up, right? Like I said in the beginning of this show, we the people are the ones who's supposed to be telling our representatives, local and federal, what we want done for us. And they are to make sure that we get our rights right. We put them in office and they are supposed to be doing things to ensure that we have everything that we need to progress in this society, not go backwards against anything. So if you are out here and you are saying, well, I don't need to vote, listen, you need to vote like your life depends on it. Do you understand? Do you truly understand? I can vote. I vote Republican and Democrat. I don't have a party to which I vote. That's just me. Because sometimes I'm with the Republicans, sometimes I'm with the Democrats. And right now, the rights of women, LGBTQIA, interracial marriages, your voting rights, all these things are at the forefront and being jeopardized if we do not go get out and vote. That should be your number one priority come November 8th. If you can vote early, go vote early. I know the people in my house and myself are going to vote early here in Texas this weekend. Next week. We are going to vote because guess what? Our lives depend on it. And I hope you take heed and understand that your life also depends on it. And no matter what anybody says, we have to do what's right for us now. We have to take back control. We have to take back control. The people up there in the federal government, your mayors, your police chiefs, your DAs, your governors, your attorney generals, your senators, your House of Representatives, they all work for us, the average Joe. Take back your power, people, and do what's right for this country and yourself and your family and the next generation. I thank you all for listening, coming on. You all have a blessed and wonderful night. Y'all behave. And I will see y'all on Friday night. Love you. Bye.